high's just ahead. Let's be on our way. Here! Hurry! Hurry! If you ask me, this...
You're here.
We're here.
Step aboard.
Hey, old monkey. I hope this isn't a one-way trip, is it?
Isn't all life a one-way trip? Once you embark on the journey, there's no turning back.
What is this place?
His memories. early days, he'd had an eye for the finer things, and a will to wrest them from others. Laying his eyes on, then craving to seize their riches. No better than the black bear and ginger, I say.
You can't have an eye for the finer things, while the Buddha oversees the three realms? Well, I hardly think that's fair.
How insatiable. Not content with his kingdom and title below, he asked for a position in the celestial court. But soon after his wish was granted, his joy turned to rage, all because he wasn't invited to a feast. He nearly ruined the entire celestial palace. Ears fume at unfavorable news. As untamed and ungrateful as that yellow rat. Beasts are beasts, don't you think?
He was young. He didn't know any better. Hadn't learned from the Buddha or our master yet. Aren't you being a bit harsh? Dredging up the scandals from his youth?
Like his adulthood was any better. Since his release, he had claimed to have learned manners and discipline. Yet his weak Frankenchurch gave him away. Posing as an idol, he degraded the gods. Clear was his defiance of the doctrines he had learned.
Well, he was just being naughty. Aren't all great achievers somewhat self-obsessed? Myself included.
Nose in the air, feeling above others. I say he was no less insolent than that yellow-browed brat.
Wait, isn't it that lady of some sort? It was her tricks that made Master drive Wukong away.
On White Tiger Ridge, he forsook his love. 3 times he broke her into pieces, convincing himself his heart would ache no more. Yet, as you must know, he had never let go of her. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been so eager to get away from the Buddhahood he attained. Those who talk much of love will one day bite their tongues. On this matter, he was akin to you and your many darlings. No matter where you are, you'd always fall captive to the web of mortal desire.
Why bring me into this? True, I don't have the wits to break the web, but he had torn his way out since that day.
Take a look, Bajia. Can you see? Many of your good friends are here.
We're just fair weather friends, that's all.
But they are still friends, aren't they?
So you say, so it must be. These old buddies. I think none of them ended up well.
Indeed. For ages, countless gifted souls have walked this earth. Yet of them, how few have forged everlasting greatness? Do you know why?
Injustice?
Never has it been just.
Misfortune?
Fortune is simply humility in the mighty.
Well, mayhaps. They simply lacked my charm.
Gifted they may be, yet strive they not. Content with little and lost in lust. Seek the ease, yet crave the renown. They yearn for freedom, yet aspire to Buddhahood. They always want both, yet nobody can and nobody should. Such was the folly of the Bull King and Wukong. Destiny's favor calls for the resolution to sever all desires. You should mark well these words.
Hold on. This can't be Wukong's memory. You're fooling us, aren't you?
5 of the 6 relics call for one. Bajie, tell me which.
Eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, and mind. Mind, it's mind.
What did you just see?
The 3 of us?
That was the last one.
Oh, I see now. It was you. I knew it from the beginning. You were the mind of Wukong all along. That's why you led us here.
Not me. It's him.
Don't make me laugh. Him? He is Wukong.
Yes and no.
Cut to the chase, will you? We didn't come this far for your riddles.
After Wukong died, 5 of his 6 senses endured and were taken by the Yaoguai kings. Only his mind was lost. Mind is the first of the 6. It's the essence unique to every life. Therefore, it's destined to fade away at life's end.
Hold on. You mean Wukong's gone for good? Never to return? You old bastard! You've been lying to us all this time!
That Wukong you knew will never return. But what made him remains. The universe will always bear him a successor. One who shall carry on his name and nature. This chosen successor is the destined one. Nameless you were, yet perils and mighty foes you've braved to recover his relics. Your will now stands resolute, worthy of his power.
You mean this boy is to take Wukong's name? He's not!
Sun Wukong is long gone! Bajie, deep down, you know he wasn't all that perfect. Now that he is dead, this one, perhaps, shall bear the name in his stead. Here, we can venture forth with you no further. This task is yours alone. Sun Wukong left behind a broken shell, stripped of all his 6 senses. Though ages have passed, it maintains a connection attuned to the echoes of his former self. If you truly are the one destined, you must cast aside his soulless shell and merge the 6 into one. Then, you shall be the one to begin the journey anew.
No! Not on his own! He's just a kid who knows nothing. I'll go with him.
This place is shaped by Wukong's lingering obsession. It allows only his relic bearer to face the final ordeal. We can escort him no more. See it for yourself.
Hear me, son! You can always run! You don't have to bear Wukong's name!
You must have heard tales about him. Some say he helped Tung Monk fetch the scriptures, was granted Buddhahood, and stayed on Mount Lingshan thereafter. Some say it was not him who was granted Buddhahood. The real him was already dead on the journey to the west. Some say that the journey never happened. He is nothing but a monkey who lives in some storyteller's tall tale. But now, you will hear a tale which no one has ever known.
In Black Myth Wukong, there is a secret ending that you can only achieve by going through very specific steps and going through very specific quest lines after you completed the game. I'll be going into more detail about all of this in this longer video so you can actually go through the steps as quickly as possible while also not missing anything. I'll be going through these steps as if you just started a brand new game, going from chapter 1 secret area all the way to the end and then after secret ending. Now obviously I'm not going to show it for you at this point so you can, and you're going to see a very familiar character from Chapter 3 just starting time you went through. You need to transport back to Chapter 3, the Pagoda Realm Snowveil Trail, and I want you to follow the pathing that I'm about to show you very closely because it's going to take you to another location that you may not have come across the very first time you went through Chapter 3. Don't worry, there's not really any big enemies along the way, but it'll be very obvious that the location that you're looking for is going to be right in front of you as soon as you get close, and it's going to be called the Great Pagoda. pagoda. Now, as you enter the Great Pagoda, you're going to very quickly see that there's a bunch of different murals inside of this pagoda. It's going to depict all the different chapters that you've already completed inside the game. Make sure you also visit the fast travel point that allows you to fast travel to this point if you need to go back and forth for any reason. Now, you remember in Chapter 6 when you get the Monkey King's actual armor set, you want to make sure you have that equipped and make your way up to the very top of the Great Pagoda, and you're going to see a very familiar character from Chapter 3 just waiting for you, staring at a blank wall. As soon as you get close to this character and this blank wall, you'll start getting thrown into a cutscene, kind of signifying that you have done everything correctly to get throughout this entire level to get to the secret area in this chapter. The first one can be found outside the forest, inside of the Forest of the Wolves location. I want you to follow the pathing that I'm showing you here on the screen because it's going to take you to a small mini boss fight that you have to complete first to be able to ring this bell. Thankfully, since this is at the very beginning of the game, the enemies that you're going to come across are not all that difficult, so you can easily run past all these enemies, and they will also not follow you into this boss fight, which is another nice touch. Now, this boss fight that you have to complete, let's start in Chapter 1, where you need to find 3 secret bells throughout this entire level to get to the secret.
I do now. Wukong, how dare you interrupt my meditation? Another monkey, I see. Why don't you lay down your weapon and join me in Buddha's mercy? What say you? Master spoke of you, the destined one.
His staff and also clearing, and you'll see an item that is interactable. That's going to be your now progress through the level. The second bell that you have to ring is going to be found near Snake Trail in the Bamboo Grove, just a little bit further into the Chapter 1 level. Now this bell will be much easier to come across because it's actually through the main path you have to go to actually progress through this level, through the mini boss that I'll be talking about here in a second, and it's just a little bit off the main path. You'll see what I'm talking about in just a second. Make your way through the Bamboo Grove with the undead snakes and the living snakes until you get to a small clearing where you have to interact with a small boss that shoots electric balls of energy at you and also summons snakes to shoot poison at you. Not one of my favorite boss fights in this game, but it's something that you get to deal with. Now once you have defeated this boss, you'll see two different routes that you can go. One is through an archway with fire in front of it, and another one is allowing you to go up the hill. You want to take the path that goes up the hill because in the distance you'll see another little awning with another bell that you get to interact. I have to go down and defeat, of course, 2 out of 3, and the third one thankfully is not very far away. And when I say not too far away, I quite literally mean the next section. You want to start from the Bamboo Grove Marsh of the White Mist location, the very first spawn point that you get for the White Mist, and as you may have guessed at this point, you're going to have to go down and defeat another mini boss. This boss is actually going to be one of the more tougher bosses you come across in Chapter 1 in my opinion, so be prepared for a fight that has 2 phases on it. The White Clad Noble is definitely one of the more interesting boss fights in my opinion in Chapter 1, so I won't say much more about the actual fight itself. I hope you enjoy the fight. I know I did. Even though it took me a couple tries. Up some steps, or you can go left towards looks like another cave, but a smaller one with some
Oh, thank Mitzvah. Oh, finally then the 3 bells sang. Disciples come, I hear travelers approaching my temple carrying you treasures. I cannot see you, but I recognize your odor. It cannot be you. You are back. It must be you who took that Kasaya. Now give it back! Years spent. Kasayas collected by the hundreds. Still one short without his. Oh, stop. Go on. Leave it. Just leave it. Stop the fire! Please stop!
Light at going to be a bell that you need to ring. Area and defeat the secret boss. So once you go through and complete this secret area, let's move on to chapter 2. Now for chapter 2's secret area, you need to make your way to Fright Cliff Rock Rest Flat and actually go and find a particular board that starts a quest line. From here, it's a literal straight shot past a couple enemies into an open area where you're actually going to see a boar hanging out on a little area, small part of the cliff, whatever you want to describe this. He's very hard to miss because he's just sitting around, and what you're very quickly going to realize is that he is drunk. He's going to ask you to find something that helps him not be drunk, which can only be found later on through this chapter. Now this is going to be one of 3 items that you need to give him, so let me cover all 3 of them first so you have all of them on hand to complete this quickly. The